let's talk about p-value and significance level alpha. P-value, the P stands for probability value. Assume H naught is true, the results from another random sample will be as extreme or more extreme as the result from the observed test statistic. So in this definition, the observed test statistic is the X bar you obtain from the problem statement. So the problem statement, you write a few sentences, and then they will give you the mean, the standard deviation, the sample size, and then after reading the problem statement, you will be able to decide whether that follows a Z procedure or T procedure or proportion. And then another random sample, I mentioned that the results from another random sample, right, will be as extreme or more extreme. So another random sample is, that means you take another random sample. So you have in the problem statement, so there is a sample, right? They tell you what the sample size is, and then they give you the X bar of the sample size. Another random sample means you reach to the population, you grab another random sample, so let's just call that N2, and then you calculate the X2 bar. So now you have two samples, and each sample has their own sample mean. So you have one from the problem statement, you have another one where you grab another sample from the population and calculate the sample mean. So what that means is, let's read this definition again. The results from another sample, that means the X2 bar, will be as extreme or more extreme as the results from the observed test statistics. So they are saying that X2 will be as extreme or more extreme than the given X bar. And then what about the significance level alpha? So let's say I ask you to go downstairs to buy a burger from me, and then you return and say the restaurant is closed. So there are two possible cases in here. Number one is if the p-value is very small. So you come back and then your answer is, I asked you to do something for me, right? And then you give me an answer. Your answer is the restaurant is closed. So that means you are not able to get a burger from me. So number one, if the p-value is very small, you make a statement, the restaurant is closed. If the p-value is very small, that means most likely you lied to me. That means most likely your statement is not true. You said the restaurant is closed. Most likely you just lied. You didn't tell me the truth. And then number two is if the p-value is big, maybe you told me the truth. If you told me the restaurant is closed. If the p-value is large, then I am thinking maybe you told me the truth. In fact, the restaurant is closed. Maybe, it's not exactly, maybe you told me the truth. Now, I said very small and big. Well, how small is small? How big is big? When you determine how big or how small, you will have to use the significance level alpha. So what is the standard of big and small? Then we have to define significance level alpha. So the alpha looks like an X. The alpha is a Greek letter, means A, alpha. What is significance level? Significance level is the maximum allowable probability to reject the null hypothesis. And usually alpha is provided in the problem statement. They will tell you what alpha is. Most likely alpha is 0.05, 0.10, or 0.01. So when we look at alpha and p-value, here is how we compare the alpha and the p-value. Two cases. If p-value is less than alpha, we reject H naught, then we say the alternative hypothesis is true. Again, if the p-value is less than alpha, then we reject H naught and say HA is true. If p-value is greater than or equal to alpha, then we fail to reject the null hypothesis, and then we say there is no evidence to prove HA is true. Reject H naught means you just cross out H naught, you take HA as a true statement. Fail to reject H naught means you are not crossing out or you are not erasing anything. You put a big question mark on H naught, you take that as a suspicious statement. Is H naught true or false? We don't know. At this point, H naught remains suspicious. And then what about HA? There is no evidence to prove HA is true. That means we are still stuck at H naught. There is no way to touch the HA right now. All right, so that is the p-value and significance level alpha. If you think my instruction is helpful, let me know in the comment below. Like the video, share the video for me, subscribe to my channel. I will see you all in the next one. Signing out for now.